So good morning to all once again. We are going to discuss maxima and minima. Very important topic when the function depending on more than one variable. So let us suppose f is a function and which is depending upon x and y. So first we will discuss the method and I will review the method that we have done in the previous classes when the function was depending upon only single variable. So when the function depending upon single variable, then how you have calculated the maxima or minima. So before moving, first we will discuss what is the meaning of maxima or minima. Now, you know that every function has the domain. Domain means the value of x. So what are the different value of x you can substitute in this function? That is the domain of the x. And range means value of fx. When you will substitute all the value of x from the domain, means x belongs to the domain. Okay, domain will depend upon the function. Okay, let us suppose if you have a function is equal to 1 over x, then x should not be 0, because if x is equal to 0, then it is not defined. So domain can have any value. Domain will be from the real number, but it should not be 0, excluding 0. So it will depend upon the what kind of a domain is. We are not going to discuss here the domain of the function. I am here to discuss about the maximum and minimum. So you know that when you have a different value of x, when you will put in the function and you will get the value of, let us suppose y is the function. When you will put different value of x here, you will get the different value of y. So the out of all value of y means all value of fx. So whatever the maximum value, that is the means maximum value of fx is known as maxima. And how you will get, that is the different thing, how we, and the minimum value of fx is known as minima. That is the first thing you know, that what is the meaning of maxima or minima. Means when you will get substitute different value of x in the fx, you will get different value of fx. Out of all these value, the maximum value of fx will be the maximum. And you know that when you have maximum value of fx, so it will be in sum of the x. Okay, so when you have, so the of the value of x when fx having maximum value is known as point of maxima. Point of maxima means this is the value of x. Let us suppose you have substituted x is equal to a and you are getting fa is equal to maximum value. Then x is equal to a will be the point of maxima. And the value of x for which function has minimum value, that will be the point of minima. Now the most important thing, point of maxima or minima, maximum value will be single. Always you have only one maximum value and one minimum value, but point of maximum may be more than one. Maybe you are getting, let us suppose these are exact example, like you have a fx is equal to sine x. You know that the graph of the sine x, and sine x, the value of sine x is always lies between -1 to 1. So the maximum value of sine x is 1. Or you know that when you will put pi by 2, 90 degree, you are getting 1. Again, many times you will get one value. Means all these x here, you will get one value. So you may have more than one point of maxima, or you may have more than one point of point of more than one point of minima. So the two things you must know: the maxima is the value, maximum value of fx, minima is the minimum value of fx, and another is the point of maxima, by substituting which you are getting maximum value of fx. Another is the point of minima, the value of x, when you are substituting the fx, you are getting the minimum value of the fx. So these things you must know before moving further. Now after that, when you have function, I am just explaining the previous thing that you have done earlier in the previous classes. If your function is depending upon only one variable, then how you have calculated the point of maxima or minima? It is very simple. You have calculated the derivative, first derivative. If it is y, then you have a dy by dx, and it is also known as f dash x. So why you have done, and you have substituted derivative is equal to 1. Why you have done this? You know that when you are getting peak value, means this is the fx, this is the y is equal to fx, this is the curve. When you will move further and like this, and you are getting the function like this, any function may be. So here where you are getting peak, maybe in the downward side and the upward side, when you will get peak the derivative, here the dy by dx derivative means f dash x is increasing. When you are moving like this, your derivative is decreasing. But when you are getting this peak, here derivative is 0, means f dash x will be 0 here, f dash x will be 0 here, f dash x will be 0 here, means no change in the derivative. When you are getting peak, you no change in the derivative, means no, then you will take derivative 0, means here may be the point of maxima or point of minima. Means we know that if you want to find out the maxima or minima, that is the first thing that you will take. You have a function is given, you will find the first derivative and you will put equal to 0, because you know that at the point of maxima or minima, derivative is always 0. So if you want to get those points, it's better to take single derivative is equal to 0. So when you will solve this equation, you will get different value of x. I don't know what kind of a function we have. It will depend upon the function. Let us suppose I am getting x is equal to a, x is equal to b, x is equal to c, or you can say you are getting the value of x is equal to x1, x2, x3. How many value you will get, it depend upon the value of fx. So out of these x1, x2, x3 may be the point of maxima or minima. So how you will check? Then you will, method is you will find a double derivative, and you know that if double derivative will be what you will do after getting the value of double derivative, you will put each point one by one. You will put x is equal to 1 in the double derivative, x1. If you are getting double derivative greater than 0, then x is equal to x1 is the point of minima. Why it is so, I will explain. And if you are getting double derivative x2, x1 less than 0, then x is equal to 1, x1 will be the point of maxima. And if you are getting double derivative on that point, x1 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 1 is a point of inflection. Inflection means neither a point of maxima or point of minima. So why it is so, I will give one very simple example. You know that the velocity is the change of displacement with respect to time, and you know that the acceleration, this is very common thing that you know that in the previous classes, acceleration is the change of velocity with respect to time, and it is another form of it is the double derivative of displacement with respect to time. Okay, and you know that if acceleration is zero means velocity is constant, means you are not changing. So when you have velocity 0, means when derivative is not changing, neither increasing nor decreasing. So how you will say that it is a point of maxima minima, means no change is happened. So then it is the point of inflection. Now means double derivative means acceleration. The object is if we are moving with the constant velocity. neither increasing nor decreasing. So how you will get maxima or minima? But when you have a acceleration increasing, means what is the meaning of acceleration is increasing? Means derivative of v and derivative of v with respect to t is greater than 0. Means changing. Acceleration is slowly, means object is slowly increasing. Means if you are driving a car, if velocity is increasing, then you are increasing the speed of car slowly. So means you are moving toward the maxima. So wherever still point of maxima is not there, the point where you are standing, it is the minima. So when it is greater than 0, then it will be the point of minima. And if your acceleration is less than, means double derivative is less than 0, means after that you are going to slow down. So that will be the point of maxima. So keeping all these things aside, you must keep in your mind that you have done earlier when the function depending upon single variable. What you have done, you have a function, you what you have done, you have differentiate one times, you are putting it equal to 0, and then you are getting the different value of x. If then you will find double derivative. If double derivative at that point is greater than 0, then point of minima. If double derivative at that point less than 0 is point of maxima, and if double derivative at that point is equal to 0, it is a point of inflection. These things you have done earlier. I am not going to discuss this thing. I am just giving the idea, because we are going to extend this concept for two variable. For two variable, let us suppose the function is now depending upon two variable x and y. Now this is the important thing. So the basic concept will be the same that we have done in the one variable. So I am going to discuss the working method, the method to find maxima and minima. Correct? The step number 1, you will find, because you know that you have done here the first derivative. Function was depending upon single variable, you can find very easily. But here function depending upon x and y. So you will find two with derivative. You know that you can find the derivative of f with respect to x and derivative of f with respect to y. You will do these two things. And after that, in step number 2, you will let curl f by curl x is equal to 0 and curl f by curl y is equal to 0. You know that the next step what you have done, you have taken the single derivative is equal to 0. But here you have done two derivative, three single derivative. So you will take both the derivatives separately is equal to 0 to get the maxima minima. And you will try to find out the value of x and find x and y combinedly, simultaneously. So now when you will get the point of x and y, when you will solve these two equations, so you will get points, not a single value of x and y, you will get point like this. So you will get x1, y1, x2, y2, and like this. You will get the points. Now the step number 3. Now you want to check whether these points are the point of maxima or minima or point of inflection. Now here the point of inflection is known as a saddle point. We will discuss in the next step. So step number 3, student, you will find the double derivative. Now you know that here you have done the double derivative, but problem is here you do not have a single double derivative here. So you will get three derivative. You will find the double derivative of f with respect to x 2 times. You will get the double derivative of f with respect to x or with respect to y, and double derivative of f with respect to y. So you will get these three derivatives. So if you have any confusion like why you are not finding derivative of y first, and then you know that the derivative of f with respect to x and y will be is equal to derivative of y with respect to x. So they are same always. So you will take this is equal to a, this is equal to b, this is equal to c. I will take. Okay. So you will get the value of a, b and c. Very simple. This is the step number 3. Okay. Now In this step, you will get the value of, find the value of A, comma B and C for each point. This is the important. Means when you will get A, it will in the term of x and y. You will get B, it may be in the term of x and y. When you will get C, it may be in term of x and y. So you will get A, B, C by substituting these points separately. So you will get A, B, C for this point. You will get A, B, C for this point. For each of the point, you will get separate A, separate B, separate C. So this is the step number 3. Now, step number 4. Most important thing, number 1. If let us suppose you are checking for point x1 and y1. Means you are getting the value of A, B, C for point x1 and y1. So if AC, very very important, if AC minus B square is greater than 0 and A is less than 0, then fxy is the maxima and x1 y1 is the point of maxima. Means by substituting this point you will get the maximum value of function, and the maximum value of function will be fx1 and y1. Means after that if you want to get the maximum value you will get this. So number 2 important, if AC minus B square is greater than 0 and A is greater than 0, then x1 and y1 is the point of minima. Means this will be the minimum value. Correct. Number 3 point, if you are getting AC minus B square is less than 0, negative, then you will not see any other thing. You will then x1 and y1 is neither point of maxima or point of minima. Correct? And this point is also known as x1 y1 is called saddle point. The point that we have given the name as a inflection point of inflection, here is the known as the saddle point. Sometime examiner will ask about the what are the saddle points. So you will check this condition. So you must know what is the saddle point. When AC minus B square, it is another point of maxima or not a point of minima. Correct? Now there is the condition number 4th also. If you have AC minus B square is equal to 0, then this method is not appropriate to find the maxima or minima. So then x1 and y1, the case is doubtful. Means you are not clear whether is a point of maxima, point of minima or a saddle point. Correct? Then you will check with some other method, and I will explain that how you will find this other method. It is very easy, but I will discuss when I will take the example. So this is the example. You want to find out the maxima, minima or saddle point for this function. So what you will do, the first step number 1, solution. you will find curl f by curl x. So derivative of x cube is 3x square with respect to x. This will be constant because when you are finding the derivative with respect to x, y will be constant. So this is 0 now. Now 63 because derivative of x is 1 and derivative y 0. You have a 63 only. So derivative of this 12 of y because x is the variable, y is the constant, 12 of y. So this is the d curl y by curl x. So second curl y by curl f by curl y. So derivative of this is minus, this is plus here student. So plus 3y raised to power 2, here 63 and here is the 12x. This is the derivative of f with respect to x and derivative of f with respect to y. Now the step number 2, you will put equal to 0 and you will solve these equation. So how you will solve this is up to you, how effectively and how smartly you will use this thing. Let's solve it. What you will do here, 3 is common. So you can get 3 common, you have x square plus you can write y term first. So you have a 3 common, you are getting 4y. 3 is common from 63, you are getting 21 is equal to 0. So 3 is common from here. So you are getting y square plus 4y minus. Now how smartly you will solve this is your, means it is not, you do not have any common method to find the value of x and y. So 3 is out of because now you have x square plus 4y minus 21 is equal to 0, y square plus 4y minus this is 21, 21 is equal to 0. So I will take this equation number 1 and 2. Now when you will subtract this equation, there is the x, here is the x and here is the y, here is x, here is x. Now you can subtract 2 minus 1. So this minus this means, or you can say x 1 minus 2, it is up to you. So when you will subtract it, so even when you will subtract 1 minus 2, so what you will get, this is minus sign will be changed. So this will be cancelled out, x square minus y square, because after that you will substitute, the common thing is there, you will substitute the value of one equation from the one equation to the other variable to get the value of x and y. Here things are very simple and straightforward. You will get 4 is common. So 4y, even you can take minus 4x plus 4y minus 4x is equal to 0. So here a square minus b square, a minus b, a plus b. So from here your minus 4 is common. So your x minus y is equal to 0. So from this equation you are getting x minus y common, x minus y, x minus y common, x plus y minus 4 is left. Correct? So you have two things, either x is equal to 0, either x minus y is equal to 0, or x plus y minus 4 is equal to 0, because product of these two is equal to 0. So when you have x is equal to 0, you are getting x is equal to y. So you can substitute in any of the equation x is equal to y, even you can put in equation number from 1. What you are getting, x is equal to y, your x square plus 4y, I am writing 4x minus 21 is equal to 0. So when you will solve this equation, you are getting x plus 7 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. You are getting x is equal to 3 and minus 7. You are getting value of x. So when x is equal to 3 and y, so easily, because when x is 3, y is 3. When x is minus 7, y is minus 7. So you are getting 2 point, 3, 3 and minus 7 and minus 7, because x and y are equal. From here, what you are getting? Here x is equal to 4 minus y. So you will put this value in any of the equation, you are getting x plus 4y minus 21. You can put this value in this equation. So put this value here. So you have 4 minus y whole square plus 4y minus 21 is equal to 0. 16 plus y square minus 8y plus 4y minus 21 is equal to 0. So y square minus 4y and minus 5 is equal to 0. When you will solve it, you are getting y minus 5 and y plus 1 is equal to 0. So you are getting y is equal to 5 minus 1. 5 and minus 1. So you are getting two value of 5. So when you will get y is equal to 5, so 4 minus 5, x will be minus 1. So you are getting when x is equal to, you are getting x is equal to, in place of when y is 5, then x is equal to minus 1. And when y is equal to minus 1, you are getting 5. So you will get more 2 points, that is minus 1 5 and minus 1. So x is this is the value of x is 5 or y is minus 1. So you are having 4 points basically. So first point is 3 3 minus 7 minus 7 minus 1 5 and 5 minus 1. You are getting 4 points. Now you will find the double derivative value of a is the double derivative of f with respect to x square. So derivative of this is equal to 6x and this is 0, this is 0. So b is the derivative of f with respect to x and then with respect to y. So you can differentiate this with respect to y, you are getting only 12. So you don't have any x and y. Value of c, derivative of this with respect to y one more times. Curl square f, curl y square. So this will be 6y. So you are getting these three values. You can write down here. You are having a is equal to 6x, b is equal to 12 and c is equal to 6y. Now I will find the value of AC minus b square. So AC is equal to a is 6x, c is 6y and b square is 12 square. So 6 into 6 36, x into y 144. So you can find this value. So first, now you will take point 3 and 3. So value of at this point means first you will take this point. So value of AC minus b square is equal to 36, x is 3 and y is 3 and 144. Student, when you will solve it, you are getting 180. It is greater than 0. So you know that when this is greater than 0, and what is the value of a? Value of a, you can find the value of a. Value of a is 6x and 6 is x is 3. It is 18. So you are getting greater than 0. When this is greater than 0 and this is greater than 0, then it is a point of minima. So 3, 3 is the point of minima. And you can find the very easily the minimum value. Minimum value will be, you can put the minimum value, you can put the value of function, value of x3 and y3 in the function. You will get the minimum value. This is the minimum value. Minimum value. Even you can do this step in the last, but I have done here. So you have a function. Function you must know that x cube means 3 cube plus y cube 3 cube minus 63 x plus y 3 plus 3 and plus 12 xy 3 into 3. So when you will solve it, you are getting minus 216. So this is the minimum value. Now you will take second point. Second point is minus 7 and minus 7. So you will find the value of AC minus b square. So this is 36, x is minus 7, y is, you know that the value of a, c. So minus 7 minus b is equal to 12, it is always same, square. So when you will solve this one, so what you will get 1620, it is greater than 0, it is okay. The value of a is equal to 6x. So 6x is minus 7. So you are getting negative value. So this is greater than 0 and a is negative, then minus 7 or minus 7 is the point of maxima. So the maximum value will be f minus 7 or minus 7. When you will find out, you will get the 784. You can do at your end. Very easy. Just substitute the value of x minus 7 and y 7 in the function. The third thing that I want to check minus 1 and 5. So AC minus b square. So you have a 36x into y minus 12 square. Okay. So you have a 36. X is equal to minus 1, y is equal to 5 and 144. So when you will solve it, you will get minus 324. It is less than 0. And when this is negative, it is a saddle point. So minus 1 and 5 is the saddle point. Okay, so need not to check anything else. So fourth point you will check. Fourth point is y5 or x5 or y minus 1. So what you will do, you have a AC minus b square. AC is 36xy, b square. Sorry, here is the I think it is b square, 12 square. So you have a 36, x is 5, y is minus y, and it is 144. So you can calculate this value. You are getting minus 324, same value. So again you are getting this negative. So therefore 5 minus 1 is a saddle point. So two, this and this are the saddle point, and you have 3 is the point of minima, and this is the point of maxima. So students,